All right, family, we just getting started. We about to jump right on off into the fire, the frying pan. If the Bible wasn't written when they said it was, should it be canceled? Should it be canceled? And I believe that it should. I mean, because it kills the premise. It kills the premise. If you say God wrote it and you say God inspired it and told Moses to write it, and we come to find out that that's not how the story go, then it should be canceled because the objective is the premise is is not what you said it was. Okay. People come to the book because they believe the book was inspired by God, given to Moses. You understand that the characters and the individuals that's on these books are the people that wrote the book. But if that's not the case, then the premise is destroyed. You see, the premise is invalid. You see, and that's real talk. And every time you get to the bottom of it, they'll tell you, oh well, Moses wrote, but it wasn't codified until. What? I ain't asked you that. I ain't asked you nothing about was it codified. I asked you, was this book written by Moses? Could the book say God took Moses up on the mount and gave him the books, gave him the stone tablets, and he came down and threw them against the golden calf and broke the tablets, but he had to write the book. He had to write the book. The Lord commanded him to write the book. But see, here's the problem with that. And I don't know what's wrong with y'all out. You ain't gonna get it past me. I'm not one of these lame brains that gonna whatever fall for something like that. You see, they say that, and we use their dates. We ain't got no problem with using their dates. And so these are the Judaic Christian dates that we are using. You see, and so they say Moses, lived around 1200 to 1300 BC. We're getting this from the seminary. The cemetery. The seminary. You see, the cemetery school. The seminary school, and the synagogue and all of that. These are their dates, and so we use their dates. We gonna use their dates, and so. But the thing is, they don't tell you that there's 1,000 years between Moses and the oldest Hebrew scriptures, which is the Dead Sea Scrolls. Moses lived around 1200 to 1300 BC. Dead Sea Scrolls have been carbon dated to around 200 BC to 100 AD. Okay, so here it is. You got 1,000 years between the supposed author and the oldest Hebrew scriptures. I can't work with that at all. You got to be out of your mind to fall for something like that. No. We can't fall for nothing like that. How is you gonna have 1,000 years of silence between the supposed author and the old scriptures, and don't nobody have a problem with that? That book, the premise of the book should be canceled. That it was given by God. That should be canceled. Nobody should fall for that. And the book is not in chronological order. And I'm trying to work with y'all out there so you could understand this. The book is not in chronological order. Do you understand that Paul, who is Saul of Tarsus, who was a murderer of Christians, he was a murderer of Christians. You understand? He taking them out. I think he took out the one. I think he was a disciple. What was his name? Stephen. Okay, Stephen. You know what I'm saying? He had him cooked? Had him. So he was knocking off Christians. And then when they got ready to put a hit on him, because they had put a hit on Paul and they was about ready to take him out. And then he said, I saw Jesus on the road to Damascus. He ain't even, listen to me. Paul, Saul of Tarsus, a hitman for the Jews, knocking off Christians, became the most influential writer of the whole New Testament. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand that Paul's books are the oldest books of the New Testament? See, they don't put it in chronological order because that's going to take some steam out of it. Because people ain't going to, literally the Gospels is the last books to be written. That Paul, if you put it in chronological order, Galatians, Corinthians, all them other books, they would be in the front of the New Testament, not in the back. The Gospels would be in the back, and all of Paul's books would be in the front. But that would take the steam out of the book, because people gonna be like, well, if y'all was walking with Jesus, y'all got to make this shit make sense, man. Straight up, y'all got to make this make sense. If these was the disciples that walked with Jesus, we talking about Matthew, we talking about Luke, we talking about John, we talking about Mark. You see, and they say John wrote his book between 90 to 100 AD. And so I'm thinking to myself, they say Jesus died 33 AD. And so John, black power to all my family out there. John supposedly wrote his book 90 to 100 AD, which would have been, I mean, you're talking about 70 years after Jesus died. 70 years after Jesus died, John wrote his book. And if you thinking that they're about the same age, if you thinking they're about the same age, this man is 100 years old when he started writing his book. What 100-year-old man gonna remember all that went on 70 years ago, and he gonna write it down exactly how it's supposed to be 70 years later, and he's 100 years old? And the other one's not too far behind. They 85, so all of them was written clearly 50, 60 years after supposedly walking, Jesus died, and if they was all around the same age, they was 80 to 90 to 100 years old when they started writing the Gospels. You think I'm gonna fall for that? You mean to tell me the book of Revelations was like the last book? Thank you, family. Appreciate you. Yeah, Revelations was right around the last book. Yeah, they say they was living 700 years, but that was in the front of the book. They was really on their Cartoon Network then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the 700 years, that wasn't nothing. Shit, Methuselah almost lived to be 1,000 years old. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they say John. They say John wrote Revelations. You understand? Whoever wrote John wrote Revelation. John ain't wrote nothing. Yeah. Whoever cosplayed as John wrote John. You see, and so it's the same thing with the Old Testament. That Exodus is actually the first book, not Genesis. Exodus is the first book. It would have been behind Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and Numbers. It wasn't no Genesis first. It was Exodus first. But if you put it in chronological, listen, if you put the Bible in chronological order, it would take the steam out of it. Period. It would take the steam out of it. And so I'm in and out, family, because we got a lot of topics. And so I'm just showing you. It don't take me long to get straight to the point. The book is outside of the premise of the Bible. It says that it was given to Moses. It said that these disciples walked with God, and we have come to find out that that's just not so. I started clearly thinking about it, and when I asked a question, I got a crazy answer. Then they said it's blasphemy or yeah, they're gonna tell you that. They got to tell you that. You understand what I'm saying? Because you cracking the code. It's no longer a game now because information is out there. And really, their own information is what is the deciding deciding factor. You could go to the Christian sources and get this information. It ain't like you going to no outside source. You can get this information right there from biblical online biblical reference sites and things of that nature. You could get this information straight from the source. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to wake up today. And a lot of people will say, well, Seti, why? Because, see, the thing is, the Bible has imprisoned Egypt. It has imprisoned Ethiopia. It has imprisoned Africa. It has slandered the Holy Land. And we have to go in here and dissect this book and show that it was a fraudulent book from the very beginning, used to bring down the great mother of civilization, the great mother of all, black people, and bring us down and imprison our spirituality in that book and give us this garbage so that we would be spinning our wheels for eternity, never knowing our true spirituality, never paying homage to the divine holy land of our people. We got to wake up. We got to wake up. We've been lied to. You see, we've been lied to. So, family, matter of fact, before we get off of here, I want y'all to check us out. We got some fire coming down on Patreon, Divine Lineage of the Primordial Black Race. Also, we got the Initiate. Let me see if I can get that. Let me get that one out of there. Initiates of the Cosmic Black Mother. We're getting busy over on Patreon. Check it out. Click that link. Did I even put the link in there? I don't even think I put the links in there. Ray put it in there. Patreon family, get on over there and get that fire. All right, family. I'll see y'all black here in a minute. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on the Wicked Beast Daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.